you may have gotten to the end of Ezra, or you're close, either today or tomorrow. I forget exactly how your reading is going, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to spend some time asking you to think carefully about how you read the end of the book. The tendency might be you get to the end and you rush out of the book, but oftentimes, and Ezra is a good example, where there's a statement made at the end that is designed to do something for the reader. It's not spelled out, but there's a reaction. It causes your imagination to work. So at the end of Ezra, for instance, you have this long list. Ezra chapter 10, verses 18 all the way to 44 is a huge list of names of the folks who were guilty of intermarrying. That was the problem that they discovered at the end of Ezra's book. We've got this huge problem. We've married foreigners, meaning foreigners who worship foreign gods, and that was taboo for the law. So you get this long list of all the people that were involved or guilty of that sin. And listen to how verse 44 ends. All these had married foreign women, and some of the women had even borne children. And then it stops. That's it. Some of the women had even borne children. So you want to ask yourself, and maybe you have too, what is the intention of a book that ends like that? What's supposed to happen? It drops this information. The Israelites married foreigners who worshipped foreign gods. That's a bad union for so many reasons that were developed earlier in the Old Testament, and now they have children. So you want to say, all right, let your imagination run. What's the impact of children being born to those unions? So think that through. You have the book ending, wow, all these marriages are now being dissolved. And so now you have some of these children who are going to be born, they were born into those marriage unions, but now they're going to be given to whom? So where do those children go? Much like any time marriages are dissolved, you have now the question of what happens to these children. But also, how are these children going to, how are they going to develop, and how are they going to worship? It appears that the book ends with a very sticky situation, just to help us consider. This is not going to be easy to correct this particular problem, because now we've got another generation, and what's going to happen to them. The book just drops that, and I'm convinced that God expects us as readers to think that through a bit and to say, yeah, this is difficult. What are God's people going to do to continue to progress in their faith and move along with their worship in light of these consequences really to their actions? So when you're coming to the end of the book, not every book is like this, but just try to study how it ends and ask yourself, what impact does this have on you as the reader?